Good morning, good morning. How are you all? I am making a cake and I'm going to do a comet cake because I just think they're so cool. And I seen one from Zoe's Fancy Cakes. Hers was a real cake, obviously. And now I might even join her class and learn how to do real cakes because I just think they're so cool. But I'm going to make it into a fake cake. So this is an 8-inch round and this one's 5 inches tall. This is an 8-inch round and this one's 4 inches tall and it's Pac-Man. I was like, oh, it's Pac-Man. I got Pac-Man. So I cut a slice out because we're also going to use this for a slice of comet cake. So I just drew out where I wanted to cut and then I cut it. Well, I tried to use my burner, but my burner does not go in that far. So I cut it with my knife. And I'm going to take this one and line it up. Really make sure that's perfectly lined up. And then I'm just going to trace out where this one's cut. And I did sand this down too. After I cut it, I sanded it down with my electric sander. But you can use a piece of sandpaper too. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And then I'm going to glue them on top of each other. And then I'll be back. I just wanted to show you that part. So this is so messy when you cut these. I wish my burner would go all the way in there. But I'm just going to cut this down with my knife so we have another slice. Because we're going to have to glue that together too to make one big piece. So I'm going to glue these together. See, let's just cut it. I was just going to come back, but I try to make these videos as short as possible for you, even though they're a lot longer to do. I don't think my knife is going all the way to the bottom either. I might need to get a longer one because it's not going all the way down. I'm gonna have to go get a longer kitchen knife. Ooh. So let me go get a longer knife. I'm gonna cut that out. Then we're gonna glue that piece on top of each other. We'll glue the two cut pieces on top of each other and then I'll be back. Okay, ladies, I got it all sanded down. It's not exactly even. This side looks a little wider than this side, but, you know, I tried my best. And I covered the foam, the cut piece with foam sheet. And I had a small white one, so I just covered it with the small white one. Look at all that glue off of it. And I tried to line up my seam right on the edge because we're going to be going down that with some black. So that'll cover that seam. I got glue everywhere. I got to clean it up. But the bigger cake is going to need a bigger cake form or foam sheet. So I'm just using the Eva foam roll. I got this. It's 1 mm. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I didn't even know Hobby Lobby sold these. I found it in the back of the store in the wood section at an end cap facing the back wall. And I was like, I never knew you sold these, Ange. But I'm going to cover this with the Eva foam roll. So I cut out a piece big enough to go around it. And I'm going to start where this is, you know, the cutout piece. So I'm literally just going to, whoops, keep knocking that down. My hands are all glued. I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm just going to use my low temp glue gun. I'm going to start gluing it down there, going around, and I'm going to just cut off the extra on it. Actually, let's just do it. Let's just see how this goes. This is so not straight. I can tell by looking at it, but I'm done sanding. What a mess that was. Now, I did, with the other one, use the, right up that seam, tacky glue for the cutout piece, but it takes a minute for that to work. So I'm just going to come in because this is quicker. Just lay this way. I'm going to set this right in the middle. Push this right down into there. Smooth it all out. I was thinking of just painting it, but I want it to look really smooth, and the styrofoam is just not that smooth looking when it's just painted. So I'm just going to cover it in the foam roll. Really tight in there. Right. Pull this piece tight. It's starting to dry before I got it too tight. I didn't get it tight enough. Come on. So, looks like a bubble right there. So just bring it all the way around. This is not a very straight line, so I'm going to try to cut this a little straighter. Oh, these glue ups kill me. I hate them. They're stuck all over me. All right, let's do the other side. Pull this nice and tight. And then we're just going to trim it all off. I might have cut down a little too big of a piece, but it's okay. Yeah, definitely used too big of a piece. Just wasted a lot of foam. All right, so I'm just going to trim it up. Let's line up this seam. And glue up there. Oh, I cut it too short right there. Oh, I messed it up. I'll hide that with something. Oh, I wasn't paying attention, really. Pay attention to your cuts. That's right, it's the back of the cake. Oh, I'm mad I did that. I could probably have stretched it, but I'm not going to. All right, so cut your seam straight. I left a gap there, but I'll hide it with something, piece of candy or something. So like I said, this is Joey's, Zoe's Fancy Cakes. I think that Zoe's, I think so. She did a real cake. I'm making it, I'm doing it in her colors because I just loved it. But I'm gonna make it an Easter cake. So we'll be adding a little bit more to it than what she had. So you're just gonna keep trimming it. So you're even with your cake. My cake looks crooked. I don't think it's, I don't know. I don't know why it's crooked. I should have made my seam right here because I could have hit it better. That's all right. I'll still hide it. So you're just going to keep going around this so it's nice and even. Where's my garbage can? It's on the opposite side today. Don't mind my mat, it's always a hot mess. Oh, it's crooked. Stop that. Everything's so sticky. So you just want to go around it so it's nice. And I'm going to hit some glue on these inside corners because I can see they're puckering out. Let's just get them to lay like that, nice and pointy. Don't burn yourself. For a second. All right, wipe out that glue. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to trim that up a little bit more. I'm sure you don't want to keep watching me trim it though. And then I'm going to paint both pieces in nutmeg. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint. I just feel like my cakes are crooked. I don't know why they're, that one's definitely not laying. That should be here. I keep sanding it, and it keeps going crooked. I'm going to have to fix that. It's bugging me. So I'm going to paint both these pieces in apple barrel nutmeg and let them dry, and I'll be back. Hello ladies, I'm back. So I have that all painted, the nutmeg, And I did about 3 coats. And now we're gonna do some trim around this. But before I do that, actually let me close this up. I'm going to take some burnt umber. Just a little bit. Let me find a brush. What brush do I want to use? No, the brushes are too hard. Let's use this one. I'm going to take a brush and let me get a little bit of water. And some paper towels. And we're going to shade this a little bit. So I'm going to have like frosting coming around about here and about here. And I did mark it with a pencil where I wanted to put my frosting. So I have it marked with a pencil. And I don't know, I'd say that's about 2 inches up. So 2 inches I spaced is where I'm going to start my trim. So where I know the 2 inches is going to be, I want to, so I dipped my brush in some of the burnt umber in the water, and I'm dapping it because I don't want it very, I'm just going to go where I'm going to put, and I come back in and touch it up after I get the frosting on too. I'm just darkening it up, darkening. I don't think I've had enough coffee yet. And you could do this after you get it on because you might not even see this. Depends on how wide my frosting is. So I'll probably touch it up after too. Oh, it's running. It's too wet, too wet, too wet, too wet. Oh, I forgot to let Louie out. Shoot. These dogs. It's so nice out today. It's like freaking spring out there. It's like 60. Loving it. It doesn't look like it's dark enough. You're going to have to wait a minute, Louis. Gonna go along the bottom also. I'm not the best at shading, so this is what I'm doing. It's too wet. Go a little bit up the middle. I'm going to come down along the sides of this. Not worried about the top because we'll have a frosting drip up there. All right, I'll touch this up after. Hold on, I have to let Louie in. Of course I do. All right. Let's hit this with the blow dryer really quick. Also, my cake board I painted light pink. I used the conch shell from Folk Art, and I painted it light pink. And then I just took a smaller cake form to make a circle with my pencil, because that's where the black will go around it and also around the edge of this. But I did paint this already light pink. So now we're going to take some hot pink foam clay. Make sure you condition it. Get it nice and warmed up. I'm going to take a small piece. I'm going to take my Gorilla Glue, super glue, and you're just going to start rolling out a piece. That's pretty good. So I'm going to do it about that thick, I think. And then how I'm doing this is I'm just going to take my little pinky. I'm going to take my little pinky, and wherever I want, I'm going to roll my finger so it makes little indents. Looks like a sausage roll. I don't like to do long pieces, so I'm going to break that off right now. Let's do that again. So it looks like a little sausage link roll. Then you're going to take your super glue and you're going to start pulling this. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot of this. Can't tell if it's coming out. Are you coming out? And I'm going to start putting this on there. Just going to lay that right here. Push down. continue gluing this piece. I can't see if my glue's coming out. Is it coming? Lay that down. And I like to squish them with my finger, make them a little bit flatter. So it looks like that. Okay? So we're going to do that all the way around. So I'm just going to set that like that. Let's continue this piece. Set this, that one, push it down. This piece we're going to cut. Okay, again, flatten those pieces down. All right, so you're going to do that again. Making sure these are all stuck. Make sure that it looks like it's even all the way around. Sometimes they start to slide with that super glue. So you might have to set this somewhere to dry a little bit. Let that glue dry out so they don't keep sliding. All right. So we're going to do the same exact thing again with coral. So I'm using a coral color. And get it out of the jar here. And again, you want to condition this. Cut off a piece. Start rolling it. So do the same thing again. That one's going to fall apart, I can tell. Just like little, it does, it just looks like a sausage link thing. Now let's cut that off. I don't like them too big because they fall apart. This one's gonna fall apart, I can tell. All right, you're gonna do the same exact thing again. You're gonna super glue it. And whatever you do to this cake, you're gonna just do to the sliced piece. Just gonna go all the way around now. Let's lay that down on here. Start here. Put that right there, push it down. Push that down, see it broke. Okay. Let's pick that up. And it's gonna break. Because they're really thin, these little pieces in between. Making sure it's all flat. Okay, let's get the next piece. That needs a little piece right here. It's really up to you how far you want these chunky pieces in between. You can do them farther apart or closer together. It's totally up to you. Let's push that piece down. And that right here. Push. Push. Don't touch. Uh-oh. I just messed that piece up. And I gotta cut this. And I'm gonna be short right there. See if I can stretch that over. So you're gonna do that. So it looks like that. All the way around. And now I'm going to do a light pink on top. So, ooh, I'm almost out of light pink. I am going to take light pink. So I'm using Annie's light pink, Annie's Treasures. Light pink. Get out of the bag. I need every bit of this. Alright, and I'm going to take a little bit of white and put some white in there too. I don't even know if I have enough of this. Mix it up and condition it. I do have a little piece left that I did earlier. Oh my god, I'm almost out of light pink. I'm going to add a little bit more white to it just so I have more pink. Really mix that up. I can still see the white, so I'm just trying to blend it really well. I don't know if I have enough of this. I'm going to do the dripping in sections first. Shoot. Shooty, shoot, shoot. I'm going to have to find more white pink somewhere. So, let's roll this out. Let me get my big roller. Oh. Where is it? Let me clean that. Where are my wipes? I don't see them. Where did they go? Oh. Alright, so I'm going to start rolling this out. You don't need these really thick. I gotta stand up so I can put pressure. So I gotta stretch this baby out. Come on. Air bubble. Ooh, come on, stretch. All right. So I'm going to take my little tool. I think I'm going to start with the drips first. So I'm just going to use my little tool from Hobby Lobby that actually keeps breaking and have to keep super gluing it. And we're going to start doing drips. So where my drips come down, I kind of wanted them in between the skinny part, which I didn't leave that much skinniness in here. So I'm going to try to make them a little longer. So I want my drip to come down in between here. Not on the big part, right down the smaller parts. But I didn't leave that much skinniness in here. I'm trying to skinny them out. Skinny them. All right. So, let's just cut a piece. Move this over. And we're just going to start doing some drips. I don't want my drips really close together, so I'm doing a big wide space between them. And I don't want them really fat either. I want them skinny. Oh, that didn't pull off. Ah, no. Oh, that did not work. There. All right, so here's the first step. I'm going to roll that just a little. Get off there. Where'd my roller go? I'm going to roll it again. Just lightly. I didn't press very hard. Let's bring this over. It's kind of hard to get your drips where you want them. I'm going to set this about here. Push down. I can tell they're too long, so hold on. They're a lot longer than I wanted them. Let me cut this piece off here. Push that down. I'm going to actually make this one just a tiny bit smaller. I want this one a little bit smaller too. You just gotta play with it to get them where you want them, to tell you the truth. Still want that one smaller. Let's put that one right there. So that one's laying right down in the middle of the skinny part. Pull that off. So we're going to go around again, do the same thing. This still feels a little thick. Let's roll it out a little more. Let's do another piece. And again, let's do a long drip. Keep making them really long. I don't want them really long. It's hard to tell though when I'm not holding it up there. Some of them I want long. Let's set that right here. That one landed good. That landed good. I'm gonna cut this one down. down. Stretch this over. And then we just got a little piece right there. Again, I'm going to roll that out a little bit more. Let's cut it down. And what do we need? Just about here. Okay. So we have a drip there. So let's do, I'm gonna need a space. I don't like that right there. I didn't do it right. Let's cut this piece down a little bit. Actually, I need a piece right here. I needed a space there and I didn't space it. I said I need a space and then I didn't space it. Okay, we'll smooth that out after. This piece I'm going to cut right here. Okay, let's pull that up a little. I'm going to cut this one down just a little shorter. Let's flatten that down. Alright, so we have all the drip on. I'm going to smooth this out with some water to make it look a little better. Oh, let's finish the top piece. I'm just going to take this and set it here. Let's roll that. Did I throw that back out? Good. Let's see. I'm just going to roll this out a little bit more. Set this up here. Which looks crazy. Alright, I'm going to smooth this all out with some water. Trying to really flatten it down. Do I have water in here? Not really. Hold on. I need a cup. Let's do. I have a small cup. No. So I'm going to smooth this out. With water. Really got to push in there and blend that. Don't drip, don't drip. I like to wet both fingers, that way I can glide across this. I feel like I got a bubble or something right here. I also like to shape these out with water on my fingers. It just makes it look smoother. But we're going to be going around that with black trim, so you don't really have to do that. This usually takes me a minute, so. Really want it nice and smooth. Even though I'm going to have stuff on the top, I don't know how much of this you'll see. I still want it smooth. It's just hard to hold without fingerprinting the other side from putting pressure. We're almost there. Okay, let's make sure the sides are smooth. Still right here. Just like that. All right, I think that's good. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Well, actually, I'm just gonna explain what I'm gonna do and then I'll come back. So hold on. Ugh. All right, so the next thing you wanna do, hands are all sticky. Hold on. Really wish I had a sink at my table. That would be just great. I've seen them. Desks, they have like, for science people, a desk with a built-in sink in it. But they're like $8,000. I was like, oh my God, I want one. That would be awesome. All right. So once you get all your foam stuff settled, we're going to go around with, now you can, because your trim pieces that you're going to put around, oh, I missed a spot. That's all right. That you're going to put around all the foam clay. You can use black foam clay. Where's my black foam clay? You just want to make sure you roll it skinny, which I have a hard time doing. I cannot get them as skinny as I want it. So, you can use foam clay to go around it. You can use puffy paint to go around it. Or you can get yourself some trim. So I have rope trim And I also got this trim. It's black and it's flat. This trim. It's like a skinny shoelace. So you could do that around the top, the bottom. Oh, I wanted to do those before I did the frosting, and I did it again. Oh. I said, don't forget to put that black on before you do the frosting, and I forgot. Would have just been much easier. All right, so before you put your frosting on, do the trim around the top and bottom of these two pieces, okay? And then put your frosting on. Oh, darn it. So you could use trim, you could use puffy paint, or you can use foam clay. I'm just going to go ahead and use the foam clay. Even though I bought all that trim and the puffy paint to do this with, but... Oh, I'm so mad I forgot to do... I like my drips in the back. I don't like my drips in the front. At all. They didn't come out the way I wanted them. But I'm not trying to pull that off. It's too late. I should have fixed it. I didn't like it when I first did it. So just take a small piece. You can do this in sections because you want it so thin it's going to break off. Come on. Get out of my way. My table's wet. It's making it sticky. So you just want to roll this as thin as you can get it. I cleaned this table and everything's sticking to it. Ow. Tried to clean it, my mat, as best as I could. Like, I would like it all that thin right there. So I'm going to do this in just little pieces because when you do them really long and they're super skinny, they're going to break and start pulling on you and get even thinner. So try to do it in small little sections. Or if you're like a professional fake baker and you're like, Laura, we got this, then you go do it, girl. I just try my best and, you know, I'm not the greatest at cakes, but I try my best and I enjoy making them. Oh, I'm so mad I didn't do that frosting, but, All right, so you're just gonna go around. I'm hoping this will just stick to that. You can super glue around it, but I'm just gonna pick it up and I just start following. And I leave this on the table and just move my cake here. That way it's not pulling so much. You're gonna go around this whole piece. Just like that. Oh, I'm so mad I didn't. All right, I got a piece of white on it right there. You're gonna do that. It doesn't look like you can see. It's so dark when I look up on the camera. You're gonna do that all across the top and the bottom, the top and the bottom, top, bottom, and then I'm gonna go around all the drips with the black, and then I'll be back.